evening, Internet. How are we this wonderful evening? Man, I made a big old stink about cranberry sauce earlier. So many of you guys love that stuff, and it's disgusting. Here she is. Here's Scarlett. She's not a fan of cranberry sauce either. I don't think. I'm not going to let her try any. I don't know if dogs can eat cranberry sauce. But, yeah, that's turned into a whole thing. I just went to war with all the cranberry sauce fans. Apparently, I just haven't had the right cranberry sauce. Whatever, that's fine. I'll try your guys' cranberry sauce. I'll give it a shot. But that can-shaped cranberry sauce is gross, man. That stuff is nasty. But I will say, nothing is as nasty on Thanksgiving as the green bean casserole. Like, whoever thought of that? And why would you think of such an abomination to bring over to a meal that you're going to share with loved ones? It's awful. I think it was a prank. I think the green bean casserole started off originally as a Thanksgiving prank. Like whoever the funny uncle was that says inappropriate things and talks about politics, it was probably like the first libertarian that ever went to Thanksgiving dinner. He decided as a joke he was going to bring over green bean casserole, and that's how this whole thing started. Everybody thought it was serious. Nobody ever eats it. It just sits around, but somebody always figures that they have to bring it because, it's part of the meal. Anyway, how's everyone this evening? B. Sizzo, nice to see you. Wonderful. All right, let me make sure I'm streaming on all the platforms here. We got a lot going on. A ton of stuff is happening. Even in the last few hours, a bunch of crap is happening. I have a feeling the whole next year is going to be like that. And, well, Tucker seems to feel that way too. So let's see. If we're streaming over on the X platform, we should be. Let's see. Make sure we're live over here on Rumble. We should be. It looks like we are. First shot. Hello, friend. I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Nice to see you, pal. Don't make fun of my trails, dude. All right, looks like we are streaming on all platforms. And did you guys watch Tucker's his episode he came out with right now? Like, I don't know, a few hours ago, whenever it was. This is my favorite episode that he's done so far. I think it maybe. I don't know. It was really good. It was an off the cuff speech. It wasn't even an episode. It was the spectacular. If you guys haven't watched it, it's like 50 minutes and I don't understand. I hope I'm that good one day that I can just talk off the cuff with an overall message. Like he did this. I don't think he had any notes, any paperwork, no teleprompter, nothing in front of him. And that's how you know this stuff's authentic. This stuff. He lives this, what Tucker's talking about here. Because he talks for 50 minutes straight about an overall idea. And that's how we are living in essentially unprecedented times. I'll let him talk. I'll play a quick clip from it. Wally World, how we doing? Lonald, what's up, man? Nice to see you. You don't watch you don't watch it. You should watch this one. It's just a speech. I don't know where he was during the speech, but here, let's give it a watch. Stop talking about it because I'm going to pause it probably a couple of times just to annoy you guys. Not really. There's a specific spot I want to stop at because he says a point that I've been making for like the last 2 years, I think, maybe a year and a half, something like that. But let's listen to a quick, just like a 3-minute clip from him because, yeah, it's worth it. Let's see here. All right. This is from Inversionism, sorry. Awesome account to follow on the X platform, Inversionism. Does a lot of psychology stuff and talks about, I came across this account when they were talking about Ritalin and ADHD medication. Anyway, Tucker, he clipped this.
But I'm only saying that to highlight.
This is a good 3-minute clip that sort of encapsulates the whole idea around his speech that he gave. But I really encourage you guys to watch the whole 50-minute speech. It was fantastic. Wally World, you watched it? Yeah, it was great. So he touches on really important things in the speech. That's why I think you guys should watch it. And he says some things that all of us are kind of feeling. And can't really, like a lot of the, people were drawn to Jordan Peterson for the same reason. I know he's gotten a little wonky lately. Let's not go there. But Jordan Peterson has a unique ability to take ideas that appear to be, when he explains them, they're like really obvious and really straightforward. They seem like just like concepts that everybody gets, but it's not really how it is. Like he takes sort of abstract ideas and simplifies them. And Tucker kind of does that here. He says kind of what we're all feeling, what we're all thinking, and yeah, sort of like, yeah, I'll just let Tucker talk. I'll quit ruining it.
But I'm only saying that to highlight what everyone in this room already knows, which is that it's really a volatile moment. I flew out here across the country this morning and spent 5 hours texting people, mostly people I know, but also the entire mentally ill community in America has my text, so a lot of crazies too. But also a lot of people I really like and who are smart and temperate and reasonable people who've been around, who are my age, I'm 54, kind of seen stuff and have measured opinions on things. And I got to tell you, every single person I texted with the exception of my wife, who's not on the internet at all, was angry and paranoid. Seriously. And these are not crazy people. These are normal, good people with like kids and stuff, with a vested interest in Americans' success. These are not the burn it down caucus. These are the people you want voting. And they were all angry and paranoid. Every single one of them. Some of them really angry and some of them really paranoid. And I have to say, after assessing their views for 5 hours, I think they were justified in both.
So he's not saying angry and paranoid as any sort of slander. It's because everybody is justified in being angry and paranoid right now. Look at all the lies that we've caught them in. Look at all the institutions that we are supposed to trust inherently that we have caught in lies, that have said things time and time again that have proven not to be true, primarily about the vaccine. A lot of stuff about the vaccine that turned out not to be true. I won't go into details because we're on YouTube, but there's a lot of things that were said about the vaccine that turned out not to be true. The institutions that pushed it so hard on everybody, and then the whole 2020 election, right? I'm not alleging any sort of F-word activities at all, but like I say, almost every episode, the suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop was a big deal. Any other shenanigans that may have happened. And then when people want to address those grievances, they go to the Capitol and look what that turned into. And it fell perfectly into the hands of what everybody says the Democrats, but it's more the uniparty. It's more the establishment, the deep state, because there's plenty of Republicans that wanted that to happen too. There's plenty of anti-Trump Republicans. It's not even about Trump anymore. It's about, from my standpoint, and a lot of libertarians I'm sure will rip my head off for saying such a thing, but in terms of somebody that is promoting the ideas of liberty the most, granted, bump stock bans, lockdowns, I get it. Trump did a lot of things that are anti-liberty. I understand that. But, overall encompassing view of all the people that can act as leaders right now in terms of preserving liberty, Trump is one of them. Tucker's one of them. Elon is one of them. And, well, you see what they're trying to do to every single one of these people. You see what they did already to Trump. See what they've done to all the January Sixers. And a video that I'll play earlier that I'll play a little later that just breaks my brain when this lady talks about why we don't have air marshals on planes, because they basically we don't have air marshals because they pulled all the resources to follow not even January Sixers, people that went to the Capitol, DC, on that date, or maybe even around those days. They're following them around the country. I'll play this video for you guys later. It's insane. I'm sorry. Let me let Tucker finish. Rant too much.
Like they had every reason to be angry and all the evidence required to become paranoid. And so I'm not mocking them at all. I'm just telling you, once again, what you already know, which is this is going to be, the next year is going to be, I think I'd bet my house on it, really like nothing we've ever seen.
So sorry, I'm going to pause it again really quick. I'll try not to go off on too long of a tangent. This next year is going to be stuff that we've never seen. Look what they're doing to Trump. First shot, I know. I'm on Trump train too, 100% all aboard, and I am not full-fledgedly endorsing Trump. But like, I'm going to take that back. I am endorsing Trump. But I'm not. That doesn't endorse everything that he does. But the main primary reason that I'm going to support Trump, and yeah, I'll put on the MAGA hat this election. I am done. I'll go to rallies. Like I'm all in. But the primary reason is because of how hard the deep state is going after him. So it's anybody that ever calls them establishment, it just breaks my brain, because the entire establishment is doing everything they can in their power to keep them off the ballot. So this next year, we're going to see unprecedented stuff. I don't see it. Casey Martin, how you doing? I don't see any possible way they allow him to get back in the White House. So up to and including, I really see them going that far. They cannot allow him to get back into the White House. I think we're going to see absolutely banana ball stuff over the next year. Yeah, they screwed up because leaders are popping up everywhere now, like, anyway, I won't interrupt it again until Tucker's done here.
In the country, and everyone can kind of feel that. Most of our perceptions come through intuition rather than reason. And if you have dogs, you know this, because they can't understand literally a word you say because they don't speak English, hardly any of them. But if you're close to your dog, the dog knows exactly what's going on, knows when it's time to go out, knows when you're going on a trip. Why is that? Because they don't hear anything, they just watch, and they feel. And people are very much the same. And if something bad is about to happen, everybody gets jumpy. And everybody's really jumpy right now. So I'm not here to make your anger and paranoia worse, just the opposite. I'm here merely to suggest a couple of things that I think you could do about it and that might be useful rather than pointless. Like spending a ton of time on social media screaming at people. Well, obviously I do that for a living. And I would never discourage anyone from doing it. Probably aren't going to solve your problem. So the first thing I think that's really important as you stare down the next 12 months is to accept the fact that all your senses are telling you the truth. A good friend of mine called Gavin DeBecker once wrote a book, the thesis of which was every gut level feeling you've ever had is real, is totally true. That your gut is the one thing that doesn't lie to you. Your gut only has your interest in mind. It is not trying to sell you a product or convince you to vote for it. It's acting solely on your behalf. So if you get a very strong message from your viscera, from your intuition, obey it. Take it very seriously. As I always tell my children, if you're talking to somebody and the person seems creepy, he's creepy. It doesn't mean you can convict him in a court of law for creepiness, though maybe you should try, but you don't need to. All you need to know is that what your senses are telling you is absolutely true. This person's creepy. If you feel deception, you're being lied to, period. Now, you may not know how you're being lied to or why you're being lied to, much less what the truth is. You probably don't. I, most of the time, have no idea. But if you feel you're being lied to, you're 100% right. You are being lied to. And if you feel that something very intense and history-changing is about to happen, don't ignore it.
All right, guys. So he touches on something very important right there. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Tucker carries himself in a very unique way. And people are drawn to this type of personality, to the way Tucker carries himself. It's very similar to the way that Elon carries himself, very similar to the way Trump carries himself. In fact, all three of them do one thing the exact same way. They're always smiling and upbeat and happy and confident. And you can't get these guys down. You just can't do it. And why? Well, I think he said it right there. He follows his gut. He follows his intuition. He does what he believes is true. He does what he believes is the right thing. And you can see that through his whole transformation that he's had like the last 10 years as a journalist and whatever he is now, because you can't even call him a journalist anymore. He's a cultural leader at this point. And I think the most important thing that he talks about there is the whole, not just the gut thing, but your gut tells you not sorry, my dog's about to knock my monitor over. Your gut really can sort of guide you. And like, Scarlett, knock it off. Scarlett, out of there. Jeez, she's going to knock over my monitor. Sorry. So my dog's a psychopath. My mask thing. It started as just like I'm not going to, I will not comply. I literally said that when I got fired from the job site. Like, it started as me just saying it sort of off the cuff as a joke. And it spiraled into this whole thing. And I, at that moment, just decided to put my foot down. And it just sent everything into a spiral. But everything that's happened since then has been good. And every single time a new challenge comes in front of me, or a new opportunity for me to going on the internet and talking about this stuff, just this, getting fired from my job from refusing to wear the mask gave me the courage to go out and do this, because I was essentially already canceled. After I went on Tucker, man, it's insane. After I apply for jobs, it's, everything will go great. They'll look at my resume. I'll get like a first initial phone interview, and it's like clockwork every single time. Like, oh, no, sorry, what was somebody else? Every single time. You guys, I have a fairly impressive resume. Like, I was the head, I won't say specifically, well, you guys know I was an AV guy. I was the head guy for eBay for a while. I was the head guy for Apple. I was the head guy then I went back to residential, and then I was doing builds for some really well-known people. And all this stuff's on my resume. I've been doing this for 18 years. I'm 40 years old now, and ultra marathon runner. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. Like, my resume looks good. And then all of a sudden it's, the mask thing, around here, the Bay Area, Santa Cruz. Just, even if people agree with me, they don't want to come near that, because there's people around them that'll hate me just right off the bat because of that stuff. I've been like soft canceled. And what's amazing is I may have a great opportunity right now. And the whole point of the spiel is I had to make a choice of, okay, do I put on the mask? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to put my foot down. It got worse, but then it got better. And then it's like, okay, do I want to shut up and just quietly try to go back, get a job? Or do I want to talk very loudly on the internet about all the insane madness that's happening right now? I decided to do that instead. Well, that helped perpetuate my being blacklisted from my career, but it turned into me coaching cross country. It turned into a whole bunch of other stuff, and this opportunity that's coming up now. And now I'm running for California State Senate. Probably won't win, probably don't have a shot, but I might, because we live in a very unique time, and this X platform is actually giving us a soapbox to stand from and yell. So I don't know. I don't know what the future is to hold, but the whole point is, be like Tucker. We live in horrifying, scary times right now. I get it. It's bad, you guys. There's a lot of scary stuff going on. They're coming after people. They're locking people up. Like, they're legitimate. This is insane. What's happening? It's like Soviet era stuff is happening right now. Keep smiling. The best way to fight back against all these psychopaths that want you to be stupid, fat, uninformed, and unhappy, all that stuff, the best way to fight back is to be in fantastic shape. Read a bunch and learn stuff. Be there for your family members. Be there for your friends. And just live your best life the best you can. Be your best self. That's the best way to battle back against all these idiots, because they're taking their regular boosters, eating their seed oils and their vegan processed crap, all this stuff. So libertarian first shot. Yeah, no GOP, bro. Yeah, so that's kind of it.
But I'm only saying that to highlight what everyone in this room already knows,
Lonnie,
which is that it's.
I saw your comment, Lonnie, you jerk. So that's kind of it. Just don't let all this stuff get you down, guys. I know it's crazy right now, and a lot of this stuff is really blackpilling, but it's also really why it's so important to. It's one of the reasons why I trail run. I can't trail run and be on Twitter at the same time. So on Saturday or Sunday, when I go do a super long run for 2 to 3 hours, you know, and you're running the entire time, all you could do is think and be in nature. That's all I do. It is a very grounding experience because I get my whole nature fix in, you know, I get my whole meditation fix in, because you kind of got to reach a meditative state if you're going to run continuously for that long. And obviously I get my exercise fix in. It's a 3-in-1. It's great. Trail running's fantastic. But point is, it's a lot easier to not get black pilled, be white pilled, be like, yeah, everything's effed. This is the most exciting time we ever live in. Look what Elon just did with the rockets the other day. The rocket stuff, that we live in exciting times, people. Don't get black pilled. Everything, I'm not gonna say everything's fine, but everything sure is exciting. And if you are your best self, you're gonna be all right. Just keep plugging away, guys. I know stuff's tough. I know stuff's scary, but keep plugging away. So, all right. There's plenty of other stuff. Whoa, what the heck? See, I don't know how stuff gets all mixed up like this all the time. Okay, I don't know why this happened, but yeah, I don't know why it does that. Every now and then, the X bookmarks goes all wonky on me. So let me see if this fixed it, because, oops. All right, I got to quit ranting about Tucker, because there's plenty of stuff that happened that I need to at least gloss over. How you guys doing tonight? How is everyone? Northside. Hash has never been better than this, right? What has never been better? Let's see. Oh, Rochelle, what's up? Danger. Shut up, Lonnie. Don't call me that. Do you remember the head detective? Remember him? From In Living Color? All right, that fixed it. Okay, so right on the note of things are going to get very interesting over the next year, you know, Tucker saying, and, you know, me saying they're gonna pull out all the stops, folks. The deep state crap. And yeah, I'm speaking openly tinfoily now. I don't even care anymore because they're so obviously over the top with everything. So yeah, anyway. So CBS just came out with this whole news announcement today. They're prepping us. They're prepping us, guys. Did you see this one?
Thank you, Jerika. CBS News has obtained a security alert suggesting an increasing terrorist threat to New York State. The New York State Intelligence Bulletin points to Israeli operations against Hamas, and specifically that the increase in civilian casualties raises the likelihood that violent extremist threat actors will seek to conduct attacks against targets in the West, with New York State being a focus. The alert says possible targets include protests and other public events. Police in New York maintaining a highly visible security presence around potential targets like synagogues. And while there's no specific or credible threat, security for this week's Thanksgiving Day parade is at a high level with the full deployment of thousands of New York City police officers. The intelligence bulletin emphasizes that anti-Palestinian chatter has also been observed on multiple social media channels, with pro-Israeli advocates calling for violence against Palestinians and those who support them. The greatest threat comes from lone actors who take inspiration from violent rhetoric, much of it online. Today, New York's governor called on social media companies to take an aggressive approach to shut them down, Jerika.
Catherine Herridge, thank you for that.
You hear that last part? New York's governor calling on social media companies to shut them down. So we'll get into that too. Terry Wallace, how we doing? I actually would say San Francisco should be on the lookout. They're talking about New York, but San Francisco has been wild with the protests that have been going on, the Israel-Palestine stuff. They haven't even been covering it. Haven't been talking about it. But did anybody else notice that left-handed cop in there with his AR? He had his red dot flipped up. Like, why? I mean, not his red dot. Sorry, his magnifier flipped up. Like, it was. I don't know. Why? Why did he have it? Anyway, I don't know. That bothered me. I don't know why he would have it flipped up like that. Now I'm curious. Maybe there's something I don't know. A reason. So Kathy Hochul, New York governor. Go right over to that. So I got 2 clips from her that I want to share. But yeah, she is super authoritarian. Super authoritarian, you guys. Terry Wallace, the Thanksgiving Day parade. Yeah, that's, yep. And yeah, all sorts of stuff this weekend. If it feels like they're prepping us, doesn't it? Isn't San Francisco owned by the Chinese now, essentially? So yeah, I know it's San Francisco is a whole other story. But let's listen to Kathy Hochul, because she is just Hochul. I don't know how you say her name. Whatever. She's a tyrant. But listen to her. So this is talking about students and giving them tools for identifying misinformation.
Today, I'm directing the Director of Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services to develop media literacy tools for K through 12 in our public schools. This will teach students and even teachers to help understand how to spot conspiracy theories and misinformation, disinformation, and online hate. Start talking about what we're seeing out there. Give the teachers the tools they need to help these conversations in school. And by teaching younger New Yorkers about how to discern between digital fact and digital fiction, we can better inoculate them from hatred and the spread of it, and help prepare them for a very fast-moving and often confusing world. Today I'm directing.
She's like a Nancy Pelosi level of evil. I can't stand this woman. So that's her talking about how she wants to indoctrinate your kids. And then here's her talking about collecting data on some social media platforms, people that commit hate speech. Let's listen to this one really quick.
Also, we're very focused on the data we're collecting from surveillance efforts, what's being said on social media platforms. And we have launched an effort to be able to counter some of the negativity and reach out to people when we see hate speech being spoken about on online platforms. Our media analysis, our social media analysis unit has ramped up its monitoring of sites to catch incitement to violence, direct threats to others. And all this is in response to our desire, our strong commitment to ensure that not only do New Yorkers be safe, but they also feel safe, because personal security is about everything for them. As I said, no one walking down the street or in a subway should feel they have to hide any indications of what their religious beliefs are. We expect to see people celebrating their lives, walking about freely, and that is no longer the case because people are living in fear. They have a right to do whatever they want here in the state of New York.
That is correct, folks. The criminals in the state of New York can do whatever they want, and they will not get arrested. Well, they might get arrested, but they'll be released and be free to do it again. And it's not like that just in New York. It's like that in all of these George Soros-backed district attorney areas. And here's a perfect example of that. So Kathy Hochul's out there talking about how you're not safe. You should basically be able to walk around New York and feel safe. But she doesn't allow you to carry a firearm. It's if you defend yourself against somebody attacking you, you'll get arrested, like the bodega guy. You remember him? New York does everything they can to protect the criminal and go after you to defend yourself. And then she has the audacity to go out there and talk about safety and how how the government's there to protect you guys. They're worried about your safety. That's what they're there for. Don't you feel that when you're walking? I don't know. I don't walk around the streets of New York. Do you New Yorkers feel that? I don't know. But this isn't New York. This is up in Seattle. Perfect example of what I'm talking about. The whole catch and release thing. And it's not catch and release for like petty crimes. It's violent crime that they let them go. it's absolutely insane. This one will probably piss you guys off. And you guys might remember this clip from that went viral a couple of months ago. And this is the same guy from this clip. So pay attention.
Yeah, Eric, and they are still connecting the dots between several violent crimes. But what we know is that 2 teenagers have been booked into jail on murder charges. The allegations say they were driving down the street when they saw a car they liked, so they followed the driver, killed him, and stole his car. It was outside this auto parts store in Federal Way where police say the victim had parked and went inside. When he came out, investigators allege 2 teens, Al Hussein Drama and Jonathan Montejano, shot him and stole his Jeep.
When I came, I seen like bullet holes in the cars that were getting towed.
Grace Cho works next to where the shooting happened.
Had spoken to the cousin and I think another family member who had came by, and I gave them a hug because it's really sad.
Al Hussein Drama is no stranger to police or to media coverage. This is doorbell.
So you guys remember this clip? So look, watch this video really quick. I'll rewind it a little bit. But so he followed this woman home, and luckily she saw him and got inside. Who knows what's going to happen? Remember, so this is the guy that just murdered this guy for his car. He gets in their home. This lady probably would have got murdered. You know, an attacker getting into your home is like a nightmare for people that can't defend themselves and aren't. They tie you up, do whatever. It's a nightmare. It's a horror story. And she shut the door on him just in the nick of time. So you guys remember this? This went viral a few weeks ago, this footage. So watch right here.
Drama is no stranger to police or to media coverage. This is doorbell video that prosecutors say shows Drama trying to kick his way into a family's home in Kent after he's accused of following them home from a casino. Kent police said he was also involved in another armed home invasion, and they've been investigating him for violent crimes all over the Seattle region.
Law enforcement in the South Sound has been aware of this for weeks.
Prosecutors asked for no bail, saying the suspects spent the last month robbing and burglarizing people while armed, and saying police are investigating them for more cases.
If they get us additional information or additional cases, we'll certainly look at those with the same kind of urgency.
Police say there is video of the shooting in the auto store parking lot, and it shows Drama and Montejano park near the victim's Jeep, then ambush him as he comes out of the store, shoot him, and then steal the Jeep.
You know, anybody could be targeted.
The charges say the only connection between the teen suspects and the 25-year-old victim was that they, quote, liked the look of the car and wanted it.
It's so sad that, you know, like young people are growing up to be like that.
Now, according to police, they say that the victim, Robert Blow, was armed himself and tried to defend himself with that gun before being killed. Now, both suspects are being held in the King County Jail. One is on a $5 million bail. The other one's on a no bail hold. They're both expected in court next week. Reporting live in Seattle, Jeremy Harris, Como News.
Did you guys catch that last part? So homie was strapped. Homie drew down. He lost. There's 2 of them. Stay frosty, folks. There's not even enough. So I guess this is the number one carry one in the chamber argument. Like, you don't got time to rack your slide. They rolled up next to him. They ambushed him. I mean, it was even, you know, him drawing really quick, having a round chambered already, you're still outgunned. And they got, you know, they're standing, you're sitting. So it's just, you're in your car, you're seat belted in, you can't go nowhere. They can move around. You're donezo. So it's just right after I tell you guys not to get all bummed out and get all black-pilled. But it's like, this is the kind of stuff that's happening. So I mean, a dude went to AutoZone. He had a nice Jeep. He drove to AutoZone. You know, you guys know I got my Chrysler and I got my wagon. They're cool cars. People would want to jack me for those. Shit is wild right now, folks, especially in California. I mean, the whole West Coast, all over the place. Shit is wild. Oh, it is wild. So I want to talk about cannabis.
Also, we're very focused on the data.
So this has been happening. So cannabis dispensaries have been getting hit. Let me check the chat really quick. First shot. Don't be black pilled, bro. I know it's not my fault. Well, he was strapped, Casey Martin. That's the thing. Yeah, he'll be off the street till next week. They said no bail this time, but that's the thing. That footage that went viral of him trying to kick that woman's door in. After that, the dude was still. I believe he got arrested for that. 2 attempted home invasions, armed attempted home invasions. He followed him home from the casino. That's premeditated. And this guy's allowed to walk around. He murders this dude. How is that not on Seattle? How is that not directly on that district attorney? It's wild. Oh, what do you mean, Lonnie? California's getting a bunch of new handguns right out of the rosters. Can I buy a Jericho now? Well, I can't afford a Jericho now, but that'll be nice. Yeah, can I? Man, you know what's messed up, you guys? I'm so Californianated that I didn't even know that I can't grab it, but I have a Smith & Wesson SD VE9. You're not allowed to handle firearms when you're doing a live stream on YouTube. But that my Smith & Wesson SD VE9. I hated it at first, got a super spongy, crappy trigger. I love this gun now. It is fantastic. But I thought the magazine, I thought there was only 10-round magazines for it because I'm so Californianated. I'm stupid. They have bigger mags for this thing. And yeah, I would love to have them. And that'll be nice, Lonnie, when I can have bigger magazines. B Sizzo, Lonnie, Wally World, you guys should really watch on Rumble. There's a pretty awesome chat going on over there right now. There's a bunch of people. So it's just more fun on Rumble. YouTube's, man, I know it just works better. I can't stand YouTube, though. It's the worst. All right, so sorry. Dispensaries. So this stuff's been happening. Obviously, lots of break-ins, lots of retail theft, all that kind of stuff. Let me just read this article. So, let's see. Oh, can I do that? Oh, I didn't even know I could do that. I'm so stupid. All right. 3 Oakland teens arrested after driver rams car into Union City cannabis dispensary. All right. So this has been happening all over the place. They target dispensaries. So only reason I wanted to show you that one was, well, I shouldn't even have done that. This happened recently over here in Santa Cruz, and I don't talk enough about Santa Cruz stories. Bantering less, what's up? Rumble is the only place that I can comment. You could probably comment on YouTube. I always check the allow all comments box, so you guys could say if you guys want to test that theory. You could try. You guys are watching over there on YouTube. You could try to comment something super inappropriate. No towers in the chat, you little jerks. I know you guys are. 40 compact in waistband with pocket LCP. Always carry a backup mag. Well, that's a whole other debate too, isn't it? So, yeah. No, I had a Glock 23 that I bought to be my carry weapon, and I ended up going back to the SD9. It's just such a great little. It's more comfortable to carry. Yeah, it's a tiny bit smaller. Just the ergonomics of it is a little more comfortable to carry. Waistband holster, same thing. Anyway, so sorry. Let me go back to. I want to talk about this cannabis dispensary story. So it's a similar situation of the guy that got jacked for his Jeep and killed, and then these cars trying to break into not trying to, the cars ramming the dispensary like roll-up gate to break in, and well, obviously steal all the stuff in the dispensary. So this has been happening. So I'll read this. I'll just read the article, but this is just to show how messed up the Santa Cruz Police Department is, and I guess it would be the district attorney of Santa Cruz County. I don't know. So we'll find out. So from the Santa Cruz Sentinel, Santa Cruz cannabis business owner arrested on felony charges. And why is this? Let's read the article. So let's go through it. All right, this is from Jessica A. York over at the Santa Cruz Sentinel from yesterday. A 36-year-old Santa Cruz cannabis business owner was arrested this week after an apparent violent response to a break-in. Derek Hubbard, who police say was the victim of an early morning robbery in the Encinal Street facility Monday. He was being held without bail in the Santa Cruz jail on Tuesday. Hubbard allegedly rammed into and shot at the escape vehicles of multiple armed thieves as they were leaving the scene around 4:30 a.m. Police later arrived in the area and were unable to apprehend the thieves, officials said. Hubbard, who runs a cannabis cultivation manufacturing distribution center, had been victim of prior break-in robbery and was alerted to the most recent break-in via his security system, Santa Cruz Police Deputy Chief John Bush said. In what turned into a rolling gun battle through the Harvey West neighborhood, Hubbard allegedly initiated the shooting with the departing thieves, according to Bush. So this is the Santa Cruz Police Deputy John Bush. So this guy's dispensary repeatedly gets broken into by in many cases, probably the same gang of thieves, right? And what does he do? He paints him as like somebody that's chasing him through the neighborhood, getting in a gunfight with them. That's the Santa Cruz Police Chief, John Bush, freaking turd. So he says it turned into a rolling gun battle through the Harvey West neighborhood. So you guys know what the Santa Cruz police allow to happen in the Harvey West neighborhood is just like the stuff that you see coming out of San Francisco. I need to go get video. You guys wouldn't believe it. It's in many cases even worse because they go down into the river where it's all swampy. I've talked about this before, but the open air drug dealing, defecating wherever you want. I've been running in downtown Santa Cruz, jogging down the street on like Ocean and I can't remember the intersection, but right where the Chevron is, where freaking like the Beach Hut Deli is, like catty corner to that. There's a dude just sitting there roasting his freaking spoon of whatever he's cooking up, heroin, I don't know. Another time I was running on the levee, come under an overpass, and there's a dude just sitting there with a freaking needle just hanging out of his arm, just all jacked up. Right, like 15 feet away, there's a guy like in a tent with a chick doing whatever they were doing. It's a nightmare over in this neighborhood. So he's making it seem like he's having a gun battle through the Harvey West neighborhood, like it's this residential neighborhood. It's not. It's the super industrial neighborhood where they allow like this insane drug activity to happen. There's homes here and there, but what they allow to take place over there is a nightmare. Anyway, so Hubbard used lethal and deadly force to try and stop what was ultimately a property crime from occurring, without there being any threat of violence towards him. Bush said the investigators' decision to arrest, that's why they arrested him. So this is the Santa Cruz Police Department. And just remember, keep in mind what they go after everybody for. So did any of these guys get shot? Did any of them press charges? No, it's just the Santa Cruz police. They haven't arrested any of the guys that actually broke in. They're saying, oh, well, we know you did this and you're, not going to run from cops. You're not a criminal. You're an easy catch. So we can get you. For sure. You're the man. Yeah. I forgot you guys. Yeah. If you guys can hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. That'd be super helpful. It really helps. If you're watching on X, retweet button, all that stuff. So they're trying to paint this freaking business owner who gets repeatedly broken into, and also the cannabis laws, like they're all cash businesses because they can't, It's a nightmare trying to run a cannabis dispensary in California. The laws make it ridiculous because it's legal in California, but it's not federally legal, so they can't like properly use the banking system. And cops don't want to like help these businesses at all. They repeatedly get broken into. They're on their own when it comes to security. Cops just, this is what happens anyway. So while the Santa Cruz police originally booked Hubbard Monday on suspicion of 4 counts of attempted murder. Did you hear what I just read? While the Santa Cruz police originally booked Hubbard, the business owner whose business is repeatedly broken into, and he decided to ram them, and yeah, he fired off rounds at them. They arrested him and charged him on suspicion of 4 counts of attempted murder. This is the Santa Cruz Police Department. The Santa Cruz County District Attorney's Office elected to file numerous lesser charges, including, and they're not, attempted murder is a pretty big charge. So these are still insane charges. Like he could do serious time for this, including felony shooting at an inhabited dwelling, 4 counts of assault with a semi-automatic rifle, and 4 counts of assault with a semi-automatic rifle, and 3 why is rifle different from anyway? And 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. The charges include several special enhancements for the use of a weapon in the commission of a felony. So they're throwing everything they can at them. Just like, yeah, they reduced it from attempted murder to they word it like the district attorney decided to, we're going to go easy on them and throw the attempted murder charges out the window. No, it's because there's no way that they could get him for attempted murder on that. So instead, they're like, okay, what's the absolute max they could throw at him and actually get it? That's what they're doing. They're not cutting him slack. They just don't think they could actually get him on attempted murder because even the judges say you guys are insane. This is absolutely nuts. So, including felony shooting in and dwelling, blah, blah, blah. Hubbard is scheduled for arraignment at 8:15 a.m. on Wednesday, tomorrow, before Santa Cruz County Superior Court Judge Sida, Syda Cogilati, Cogilati. Okay, whatever. One of the vehicles believed to be involved in the robbery or reported stolen out of the Bay Area was abandoned near the Paso Tiempo exit on Highway 17. So these kids are probably from the Bay Area, and that's why I brought up that it's probably those same freaking kids. Sentinel spoke with the man who identified himself Tuesday as the general manager of the cannabis business, who asked for an anonymity for fear of danger to his property or his personal safety. He said he and others in the field are aware of an organized crime ring whose members target licensed cannabis businesses throughout the state and have picked up their efforts locally in the past month and a half. Amid a group of local business owners sharing information, thieves have been using similar tactics and have large armed and masked groups showing up in multiple high-speed vehicles who are breaking in with professional tools, the manager said. He counted at least 10 people involved in Monday's theft. So this isn't just some guy that's like all willy-nilly riding around with his AR. This is a dude that is repeatedly broken into by organized crime members. Cops won't do shit about it, nothing, and he decides to try and protect his freaking livelihood because, they say, oh, it's just personal property. No, this is his livelihood. If you steal all of my stuff, all of my ability to make a living, you're taking my livelihood. It should be illegal to shoot someone for taking your property. I don't care if they're taking my pen. If somebody breaks into my home, if somebody breaks into my property, and they decide to steal something, and I say, hey, drop it, and they don't, I should be able to shoot them. Especially with what we're living in now. It's insane. Cops have stopped enforcing the law unless it's against people that are just, that won't put up a fight at all. Cops should be embarrassed right now because nobody's going after criminals. Nobody's going after the hard criminals. It's lazy. It's cheap. They're not here to protect you at all, folks. The police are not here to protect you at all. I don't know where you can say that they are here to protect you. It's Tucker talking about how everybody's sad and paranoid or whatever he said. This is one of the reasons everybody's seeing that the dude that got murdered for his Jeep, the same guy that got released, all of this stuff, it's just weighing on everybody. The guy that got his Jeep stolen was strapped. Shit's going to start getting even worse. Professionals in the industry say they feel like they do not receive the same level of law enforcement response as other businesses, despite being highly regulated and highly taxed, the manager said. Ain't that the kicker? We're put in such a bad and dangerous position right now, the manager said. These stings are targeting these companies and hitting them over and over and over again. Now they're trying to prosecute someone for defending their own life and defending their own property when we're being targeted by these monsters that would kill us in a second. Isn't that perfect? That's exactly it. And somebody in the chat, and I won't say who it is, I know feels me on this whole thing. This is insane. Because that's the thing too, is the DEA will come and bust your ass at any point. Like they'll try to, as soon as, because remember, the cannabis industry is a whole hairy thing. There's people that will know way more about it than I do, but being legal in California and not legal federally, it's like you always got the feds that want to be able to go after you. You're paying taxes to the state of California. You're paying, but you can't use the banking system. The cops don't protect you. It's just a nightmare. I can't imagine being in that industry. So, yeah, it's super frustrating. So I don't know what his potential time he could serve is, but it's a lot. It's it doesn't even say in here like how many years he could be facing. But I mean, with all the firearm enhancements, like while committing a felony or whatever, like that's the insane thing, you guys. They haven't arrested any of the guys actually committing the crime. He was trying to stop crime from happening because the cops won't do it. And then when you try to stop crime from happening because the cops won't do it, the cops will arrest you. It's freaking madness. It's freaking madness. First shot in Texas, you could shoot scumbags for stealing. California actually has good shooting laws. They have castle doctrine. If somebody enters your home, you say, "Don't enter my home." Somebody enters your home and you shoot their ass. It's a wrap, folks. Like that's one thing that stays for somehow has survived all the California gun law insanity. So yeah, that's one good thing. But I wanted to cover the Santa Cruz Sentinel thing because this is somebody DM'd me about this too, and they wanted to personally talk. Somebody DM'd me that knows this guy, and he's just getting absolutely railroaded. So his hearing's tomorrow morning, you guys. So this guy's name is, if you want to look it up, I don't know how you can support this guy, but if you guys want to Google it, his name's Derek Hubbard, DerekHubbard. And this is from the Santa Cruz Sentinel, but that's what he's the one being charged. You just Google Derek Hubbard dispensary or something like that, and I'm sure it'll pop right up. But I don't know if he's got a Give Send Go or a GoFundMe or anything set up for legal support, but I hope that's the thing too. So just all this stuff. Now he's got to come up with a lawyer. His business is probably ruined from all of this. Like they're gonna do everything they can to ruin this man, and I hope he keeps going. Because it sort of goes back to what I was saying earlier. He did what he thought was right, and I agree with him. He rammed him, and he put lead down range. Good job, dude. Protect your stuff. I'm still with you. I don't think you committed any crimes. It's the state that's going after you. So I think it comes back to what I was talking about before. Don't go out there and martyr yourself, obviously, but don't. A lot of people, okay, here's a perfect example. Like the Daniel Penny and the Daniel Perry thing. Okay, I always get them mixed up. One was when the guy in his car got surrounded by all the Antifers rioting and everything, and one guy walks up to him with an AK, not an AR, AK, and he started raising his barrel towards him, and dude's sitting in the driver's seat sees him raising the barrel, and he draws quick, and he didn't even do a full mag dump. He fired off, I think, 5 rounds, center mass, and he killed the guy. Well, he's doing like 25 years now. The guy's aiming a rifle at you. You don't know this. Well, there's just like a rule of engagement. If somebody's raising a rifle at you, you end the threat. There's the whole, better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6 or whatever it is. Well, they judged him. Anyway, there's that one. And then there's the Daniel Perry, I think it was. Daniel Penny's the subway one in New York, where there's the dude threatening people on the subway, walking around. He gets him in a chokehold and holds him. And it turns out he didn't even end up choking him to death, but the guy ended up dying. And they went after him and arrested him. And that's the excuse people are using for like, no, I'm not going to intervene because I'll just get arrested and this and that. No, you still intervene. You still do what's right. It doesn't matter if they're going to go after you for whatever it is. It doesn't matter if you're going to lose your job. I get it. There's certain things, like nobody's going to sacrifice their kids. I get it. But all of this stuff is coming. Every single one of you guys watching right now, every single one of you listening, there's going to be a point very soon where you're going to be put in a position where you're going to have to sacrifice your moral framework, or you're going to have to put your foot down for something. Because this authoritarianism crap, especially if you're in California, is everywhere now. And you're going to come across a situation where, should I stand up for the person? Men, you guys that train. I know there's more. You guys that train martial arts and firearms, you guys that carry. Well, I don't think I need to even say it to you guys that you got to do what's right. You guys are already going to do that. But that thought can't even enter your mind. To the training to end the threat when there's an active shooter, when there's somebody abusing, like beating the crap out of a woman in front of you, when there's somebody threatening a large group of people, any of that stuff. The thought of what if they go after me if I step in, that can't even enter your mind. So don't let the thought of these authoritarian scumbags deter you from being a good person and doing the right thing. It all goes back to the same thing, staying white-pilled. All you could do is be your best self, live your best life, be true, be honest, and do the best you can. All that stuff. They're going to throw, and the more we do all that stuff, the more they're going to come at us. Let them. They're lazy and stupid. Let them. We can handle it. Don't worry, guys. We got this crap. Everything's going to be okay. It may be unrecognizable from what we know in a couple of years, but I still think everything's going to be okay. In fact, I think some of the stuff that's happening might lead to better things for a lot of us. So, I don't know. Keep your chin up, stay positive, folks, all that good stuff. You guys are wonderful. I'll be back here tomorrow night at 6:30. First shot, Casey Martin. Oh, man, Northside, Terry Wallace, Bantering Less. Man, we got a lot of you guys in there tonight. I didn't miss any of you guys. Let's see. I don't think I missed any of you guys on that side. All right. And then, Lonnie, Wally World, B Sizzo, you guys are the best. I think that's all I got tonight. There's plenty more I wanted to get into, but hopefully I'll be able to cover it tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a longer episode tomorrow. Maybe I'll go like 2 hours tomorrow night. All right, that is all I got for this evening, but you know how we do it. Before we get out of here, we got to read a joke from the best book ever written, The Truth About Chuck Norris. Let's see. All right, let me see really quick. Check the chat before we go. Casey Martin, thank you. Let's see. Lonnie. Yes, that's a great point, Lonnie. It is, at this point, it is un-American not to resist the tyranny. I agree. Liberty, folks. Don't let these tyrannical authoritarians stop you from being a good dude. Yeah, don't let them stop you. Be like Chuck Norris, you know? Sometimes there's a meme. You guys, there's a meme in this book. I got to show you this meme. Can you guys see it? It's just Chuck Norris. It's Chuck Norris freezing Medusa. So Medusa looked at Chuck Norris and she turned to stone. It's a meme. This book has a meme. It's fantastic. Okay. All right. Guys, ready for the Chuck Norris joke of the evening? I'm so glad you could join. Thank you so much. Had a wonderful evening. I will see you again tomorrow at 6:30. And on that note, Chuck Norris joke of the evening. Chuck Norris's last option is violence. It is also the only option. And on that note, stay CaliBased.